Hello, we are Sornia. As always, thank you for opening your hearts and welcoming us into your frequency. You're learning a lot about frequency and energy these days. It's very good. It's very good. And we see the progress always. We share with you the progress. You don't always have that benefit of seeing the results of what you're doing. But many of you, this is interesting, many of you are starting to, well, maybe more than starting, but you see the results of what you are doing for yourselves reflected back in your reality or your environment. You're seeing it and you are getting validation for what it is that you are doing. You understand your process because, again, it's an individual process. It's unique to you, and you're seeing that end result, what it's giving you. So it's really encouraging. And see, we have this opportunity when we come to share our messages with you to give you this feedback so that you can go, okay, good. That validates this, or, oh, I didn't know about that. Okay, I'll focus on this. Whatever we share with you. And it's very positive. It's very encouraging. And some of you might be asking, or have been asking actually, is there a light at the end of the tunnel? And we would say yes. Just remember that there's always a light at the end of the tunnel. If you lose your hope being such a beautiful energy, and some of you go, what, hope? Well, hope is a beautiful energy. Again, feel that as we say the word hope. What do you feel? What do you feel when we use that word with you? How does that vibrate within your own energy system? I have hope. Some people will look at it and feel it as there's nothing else, and so there's only hope. But why not? Why not? Instead of looking at things in a very dark way, those of you who feel that you're making progress, you have more than just hope on your side. You have validation. But the average soul walking planet Earth is feeling more hopeful, is feeling more optimistic. And we credit all of the individuals who have chosen the path of sovereignty, the path of empowerment, who have chosen to express their unique divinity, and who are speaking their truth, understanding their truth, and then speaking their truth and being their truth. It's a bit of a, you might call it a roller coaster, or a bit of a rough ride for some of you this time period that we had given you the heads up, if you will, about it, the frequency of truth. But what's interesting for us is how all of you who have encountered the denseness of your or society's lies, or we don't like the word lie, but those things that are not of truth, how you've all responded to that. Because you had this information, you've responded in a way that has stood up to the challenge of experiencing the emotional body, processing and allowing it to process the emotions that are what we call the lies or the illusion or the untruths. You've let it happen. And some of you, you're not done. It's, again, the proverbial onion layers, but the progress is incredible. And see, this reflects then in your world on Earth and in your environment, because all of your actions, all of your thoughts, all of your words, your entire energy system reverberates out. Think of that. Think of how when you drop a stone or something into a still pond or water, right? And how that the rings go out. That's you now with your environment, and it's going out in farther than it ever has. So your own personal energy systems are touching those environments way outside of you. So it's very interesting, which leads us into what we want to share with you also in what's happening with you with your consciousness when you are in either an unconscious state of meditation, let's say, or sleep, or even if you have had surgery when your consciousness is removed. So when you're kind of free of your five senses, right? And you're in an altered state of awareness. What has been typical and the standard is that your consciousness, that essence that you are, that stays connected to you in your whatever state you're in, but will go out, and usually up until recently, pretty much the majority, most of you, stayed or stay within the astral plane. You meet with your guides or deceased loved ones, deceased animals. Everything that you can think of exists in the astral plane. The astral plane being the plane that we are referring to as the astral, the plane of existence, just next to the third dimensional reality that you live in on Earth. So, you have expanded awareness in that state. So what's happening is, or it has happened in the past, is pretty much the majority of you stayed there. You go to sleep and you go there, you wander around. Some of you have ventured off, again, and you know who you are, those of you who have ventured off, but the majority have not. They have been content to stay where they are, not knowing, this is really the key here, not knowing that they could go further. Because when you do enter the astral plane, you're not connected to your five senses so much, and you don't feel the denseness and the heaviness of your physical form. And we talked about how that's changing as well, but you're there. And so you find this dimension to be pleasant, and you stay there because it feels pleasant. It's like, oh, this is a relief. And you meet with others there and you go, oh, okay. And up until recently, the majority thought that that's it, that was the afterlife as well. And there isn't much beyond that. Like that is the totality of what you can experience beyond the physical reality. Well, now with this expanded awareness happening for so many, we're noticing that a lot of you have the confidence to go out beyond and explore beyond the astral plane. Now, some of you have been already doing that, and you know who you are, and we say hats off to you because you've had some wild experiences. But those that didn't even know that they were able to do this are starting to become aware of it because of their, how do we explain this? Because when you are in the astral plane, you still are very conditioned by your earthly self and the environment and all of that. You really aren't completely disconnected. So there's a lot of influence there. So again, the soul would go there or goes there and is content because it feels like, oh, okay, this is cool. This is where I need to be. And to move beyond that with confidence is happening because you have, in the physical form, gained more awareness of the truth of who you really are, and that you are not just with your mind. So you don't really use your mind. You do, but not to the degree that you do in human form when you're there. So you're using that essence that you are very aware of your essence. And you're going, wait a minute, I'm not just so-and-so connected to that physical form. I'm much more than that. And you've pushed beyond the limitations that you thought were there of the astral plane. And it's quite interesting to see how many of you, with full confidence, have just said, I'm going to go explore, without the fear of disconnecting. So a lot of you are going, so what does this mean? Or why is this a big deal? It's a big deal. It means that you are freeing yourselves at all levels of your existence from the limitations that have been created, not just in the physical realm, but in the non-physical realm. See, it carries out in there. There is nothing that you do in the physical realm that does not affect all aspects of you in the non-physical, because you have many aspects of you that reside in the non-physical. You already know this. We've talked about your multidimensional selves, right? So it's not that you have raised your vibration, because we have told you, you already are that vibration that you seek. You don't need the lessons from Earth to be of a higher vibration. You already are that vibration. It's that you are owning it. You are acknowledging it to such a degree that you are an expression of it, and you are not holding yourselves back in a limited form, even in the spiritual realm. Understanding the spiritual realm, how you exist in the spiritual realm, is very important, because that's really your home. Earth is temporary, and you know that. So the spiritual realm, the ethers, the cosmos, the universe, whatever, all of that and more is your true home. And that's what you want to explore. Some of you have not been able to explore for thousands and thousands of years in Earth time who you really are as an expanded divine being, having not just a human experience, but having an expanded experience in that expansive universe. Keep that in mind. So some of you are going to start to remember your exploits in these other dimensions, and you'll be sharing that with others. So those of you who have already been doing it know the excitement at this. And it's more than just having an out-of-body experience. This is about going and exploring to the ends of what is possible for you at this moment, because there's more that you will learn to do. But at this moment, what's possible to you is not what will be forever. There will be more. But once you reach that point of what is possible for you, then you move on to the next. The more aware you become of your true nature, the more easily you will be able to have this experience that we're talking about and bring it back into your conscious experience on Earth. So we wanted to share this with you because this will be an important experience that will have an effect on everything. We're not sure how it's going to influence your existence in the earthly realm, but undoubtedly it will. And again, we use the word confidence. And we use that word because that's what we're noticing. There isn't a fear of what you will encounter. There isn't a fear of losing your connection. There's this confidence knowing who you really are and kind of saying, well, I'm going to go for it. And off you go. And the impact or influence it's having in other realms is important, because it's shaping other realities because of your influence and your attention to the experiences. So keep doing it. And if you're not remembering right now, that's okay. Maybe you haven't quite gotten to that point, but this message is also for you, because ultimately that's what we're hoping, is that all of you free yourselves from any limitation at all and know yourself in and out as the divine beings that you are, eternal, sovereign, and all-powerful, and having the joyful, playful experiences that await all of you. So we look forward to meeting you maybe later, or maybe some other time. Know that we are always here for you. Things are looking very good. Very good. So we are very grateful to all of you, as always. This is all for now. We love you very much. We are Sornia. Goodbye.